Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Denver, Gridiron and Hoops. We've got a little bit of a bittersweet episode today. Should just be all roses and everything like that, but let's break it down. This is David McDougall. I got with me Vinny McDougall. V-Mac, tell me, Vinny, how you doing?
I'm good, man. This was a roller coaster. Not just the game. Shortly after, you think you're have reached the pinnacle where we're one game out of the Super Bowl, which we still are. And then you hear the news: Bo Nix goes down with a busted up ankle. So a little bit of a roller coaster reminds me of, the old school lakeside roller coasters where you were in fear of possible death and dismemberment, which was half the fun. So for all those who have been to Lakeside, know about Lakeside, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But here we are, still one game out of the Super Bowl, no matter what way you look at it.
Yeah, and you're not lying with the game itself, man. I was a mess. I was trying not to curse because I had little kids around, and dude, it was a frustrating game to watch. But it was kind of like the theme of the season, the cardiac games. But this one in particular, because there was so much at stake, really, really was playing to my heartstrings. But then obviously the win was just so satisfactory. And then, like you said afterwards, just the gut wrench of the news that we received with Bo Nix. And at first I thought it was fake news because I was like, why would he finish the game? Like,
Mhm.
and like, he was doing everything after and stuff like that. And then, I saw it literally come from Sean Payton's mouth. And I was like, oh no, that isn't AI. That does not look like AI. These days,
Right.
almost everything you're like, that's AI.
Mhm.
Not this time, man. So really bummed out. As the fans know, I am a believer, and this is tough. I am trying to find every bit of optimism I can, such as J.K. Dobbins clearing uh, injury reserve. He's he's going to be back practicing, at least theoretically. And they say that there's actually a decent chance he'll play. So that's in the back of my mind. I'm like, okay, well, we'll have a running game again. Well, if he's healthy, I should say. But just overall, I'm bummed out. My hope for the season has kind of plummeted, and hopefully you're on a different track. V, where are you at?
Hey, we give a balanced approach here. We don't play as safe like some of these people who have something to worry about, sponsorships to worry about here. Um, it's Here's where we're at. Vegas had us point and a half favorite with Bo Nix if we played the Patriots. So Vegas right off the bat, no matter what, it's going to be a close game. Bo Nix news comes out. He's hurt. They push New England to 4.5 point favorite. So according to Vegas, Bo Nix is even worth a touchdown in points. And Vegas is pretty darn good at what they do. So that's a little positive note there, right? Vegas is somewhat on our side. At least they don't think we're going to get blown out. Somewhat on the negative side, this is the largest uh, point differential or point, that they're giving a road team since like the 1970s. So
No surprise there.
there is that, right? We still have a great defense, and people can nitpick and say, well, we pretty much were giving up 10 yards of play every single time they touch the ball. I'll give you that, but you have to be a good defense to cause 5 turnovers. I don't care what anybody says. You cannot be a poor defense and cause 5 turnovers, especially against a player the caliber of Josh Allen. So no matter what you say about how many yards we gave up, we caused 5 turnovers. And that's what very few people talk about. It's all about the PI. It's all about the, interception that we stole. We caused 5 turnovers. And to me, the entire game was summarized for me is we had the better team and they had the best player in the world. And the best player in the world had a bad game. That's what it came down to. Because if Josh Allen does not have 4 turnovers in that game, I don't think we're winning that game.
Yeah.
And we could argue this, that, the other. We still had the better team, which is why we were able to overcome.
Yeah. Yeah, and I completely agree about the better team overall, because we also didn't put our best foot forward. There was a lot of dropped balls, and those are so frustrating, and 2 fumbles at that. So, we didn't play a beautiful game on our side of the ball and still ended up with the dub. And I think it just goes to what this team has accomplished all year and what I've mentioned with you previously, that teams that kind of get in those circumstances where they're having to grind out wins start to build a characteristic on it. And like it's kind of like what the Chiefs did their previous Super Bowl run. Um, I just think there's something for it, and it kind of basically uh basically strengthens a team's overall best way to put it is their morale, or it's probably not the best way to put it, but I think you
Yeah,
get what
but
I'm saying, like the spirit of the team.
Mhm.
But and that's another reason why I think it's tough switching quarterbacks midstream is it's the whole team takes on a different characteristic now, down to like everyone always talks about, the play, which obviously is very important. But there's also the little things like what the person does in the huddle, like what they do on the sideline, like all those things that people don't even think about for the quarterback position that I think are just so valuable. So definitely, as much as I'm a Debbie Downer, I'm still going to be behind him. Uh, not going to bring up the fact that the last few games Jarrett Stidham played for us, he had under 40 QBR. I'm not going to bring that up. No, it's just kidding. But like seriously, like what's toughest is he's a 29-year-old guy that like never even got a chance, let alone, was ever successful. And that's why, I mean, to be honest with you guys, I was texting my brother and I was like, hey, maybe we need some Cam Newton action for bare minimum for tush pushes. Now tell me, that's not a great idea for a tush push from Cam Newton.
Yeah, you and I both know it. They're probably too late. If they would have done it, they probably would have done it. But I completely agree. So Cam Newton can do three things for us. One, he can keep the defensive coordinator looking at different things, right? Dedicating time and packages to what do we do if Cam Newton comes in the game. Two, like you said, short yardage, whether that is 4th and 1, for from the 30-yard line or 4th and 1 from the 1 yard line, and you're trying to score, he can give you those short yardage type plays. And guess what? You still have to respect his ability to throw the ball. So it's not like you're putting in some guy who just can't throw it. Like sometimes I forget which team it is. They'll sneak a tight end in there. That's not what Cam Newton is. He could still chuck the ball if you absolutely had to in some fake situations. The third thing he does is it gives us both of the quarterbacks that the Patriots discarded, Jared Stidham and Cam Newton. So what a storyline that we took your trash and it became our treasure and beat you in the conference championship.
Right.
So like all three of those things, why not bring Cam Newton in?
Yeah, my buddy had a funny one. He's like, let's just put Frank Crum in for those tush pushes.
He's athletic. What I will say about Cam Newton, and it is what it is. Cam, of course, listens to our podcast, so he's going to catch this.
Yeah, avidly.
Cam is a little soft, and I'm not talking chubby soft. Dude didn't dive on it for the Super Bowl, which will go down as the last play anybody remembers about Cam Newton. And he's been doing a podcast for a while now, right? You kind of forget all that is entailed. Could he be Superman for us for a couple plays? Maybe that's all we need him for. So, Peyton, if you're listening to us, it ain't that hard for him to go under center and take a snap. You don't have to worry about what offense to put around him or put, under him. You're going to start Stiddy, like you said. Bring him in here. Do you really want, let's say Stidham goes down, are we really going to roll the dice on Ellinger? Is that the
Yeah.
plan? Like, what do you got to lose?
And if nothing else, just picking him up on the roster requires the other defense to at least bare minimum spend a little bit of time figuring out what happens if Cam Newton comes in the game.
Oh,
So
yeah.
to me, the mental factor alone, pick him up. Like seriously, because he's very willing and able. And bare minimum, you're going to get their other defensive coordinator thinking about anything but what you're planning on doing.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a dub. You know, we're looking for dubs here because we eat dubs over here. We got the
Mhm.
Broncos popping off dubs. We got the Avalanche popping off dubs. The Nuggets. We don't talk about the Rockies. You know, that's just our typical thing.
Yeah.
But seriously, there's literally like no downside to it. Like I saw they put Ben DiNucci on the practice squad, which, you know, it's that backup quarterback that they've kind of gone to over and over and over again. But the really like in the last game before the game, they activated Caleb Lohner, and I don't think he got any snaps. He might have, but I just didn't notice him. Would you
Mhm.
rather have the guy that's played like 18 snaps all season or someone that would literally affect the other defensive coordinator? That's just
Right.
I'm not going to go to the well too much on it, but it's just something. Sean, avid listener, you gotta listen on this one. You gotta make the right thing
Yeah.
happen.
I mean, like you said, bare minimum, make the other team worry about you. Best case scenario, he gives you a couple quarterback sneaks for a first down or for a touchdown, and you look like a genius bringing him in.
Right.
So we'll see. I mean, it's a tough situation no matter what way you look at it. And I mean, it's football. You can get hurt on any play, but let's be honest, that game should not have even gone to overtime. 4 turnovers to 1. Obviously, you throw the ball to a D lineman is what it is.
Yeah, that
We
one
won the
was
game,
tough.
but that game should not have even gone to overtime. We should have been able to beat them in regulation.
Yeah.
For me, and who knows, maybe we lose the game if we go for it, but you come out of halftime, you get a strip sack. It's 4th and 4 from, probably like your 30-yard line, something like that. Like, just go for it. Like, go for that 17-point lead, not the 13-point lead. And just, I'm sorry, like, you get a 17-point lead at a halftime. It doesn't matter what they do. You're going to be able to bleed out that clock. There's that. There's the drops. There's him absolutely forgetting that you can try and run the ball. I'm not saying that they had to do it that often, but it's just like they completely abandoned it.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. We're in the game. We're in the next game. He's got a shot. Like you said, Stidham, he's never really been the guy. He's had some starts in his career. Um, at the same rate we've seen in this league where you sit around for a long time, you learn, you get better. He may have just be that guy. I do think they need to stay aggressive with him because if he doesn't throw the ball deep or take deep shots like Bo has been doing, you're just opening yourself up to just get destroyed by that defense. Like we saw Stroud just try and do all these short, intermediate passes against that team, and it did not look good at all. The pressure was just too quick. So we'll see. Sean is that guy where he's going to stay aggressive. So that's what I think will be important for him. I'm curious who he has the most rapport with because you often see sometimes when a backup quarterback comes in, there's like a third string guy that he's been working with that they have, they've built their timing up throughout the season. So, is that Lil Jordan? I don't know. Is that the dude who got a touchdown for us late in the season, short, slot guy? He got his, first touchdown of the season.
Oh,
Is there
Vandy.
somebody yeah, is there somebody deep in the roster where he has a good rapport with that he's done throughout the season that's going to be big for us in this game? Will we see, I keep saying it, will we see Ingram finally open up? Maybe it was a Bo thing and not an Ingram thing. That could very well be it. Or maybe our running game becomes more dominant. It's hard to see what Sean's going to do with the offense. It will look everybody's saying, "Oh, it's going to look the exact same." It's not going to look the same. There's going to be things that he's just more comfortable with and is going to bring to him that Bo did and vice versa. So I'm curious what it all shakes out to be.
Yeah, I tell you what, that this previous game, if people didn't believe in Sean Payton, like I just don't even understand it. Like Josh Allen is the bee's knees, and that dub was solid. And
Mhm.
like I told you, I don't know, it was probably like maybe 6, 7 weeks ago or something like that, where I was just fully on board. And then each week after that, I was like, what can he do wrong? And that I'm just if he wins this next game and people still don't believe that you're just a hater. Like he's turned our franchise completely around.
Mhm.
And like, a large part of it is just like the leadership, like he establishes what the culture is, and obviously it's a winning culture. So, got to give Sean Payton the love there. Um definitely got to give some love to Bo Nix. Hey man, it's tough. It's tough news. I hope you recover from it well. He did tell Sean Payton that he had a similar injury in high school and then again in college. And Sean Payton jokingly was like, "Oh, I wouldn't have drafted you if I knew that."
That was good.
That was pretty good. But, he said so in a jokingly fashion. It wasn't, just talking smack. It was awesome. And then so we just got to hope that this defense holds, and then the offense can just do enough, which, you know, on the bright side, as far as recipes go for winning Super Bowls, is not terrible. You know what I mean? Because we've already got the defense in place. Now, will every quarterback look like Josh Allen did against this defense? I don't think so. That was why I was afraid to face Josh Allen, is because I knew what he was capable of. Now, should they have gone for that 60-yard bomb that late? I don't know if they should have done that, because they were looking pretty good without doing that. But real quick, VMAC, I wanted to get like your top 3 moments from the game, just because we kind of glazed past the actual game itself.
Yeah, I mean, top 3 moments. So, like you said, shout out to Bo. 15 wins for Bo this year?
Yeah.
And he's not even gonna be able to finish out his, option for a 16th win. 15 wins in any NFL NFL season is a great season. Like, whether that's you go 14 and 3 and win your divisional, which is what he did, that's 15. Whether you go, 12 and what is it, 5 and you win 3 and go to a Super, like 15 wins is a great accomplishment.
Yeah.
So shout out to Bo. Get healthy. I'm a conspiracy theorist at heart, so if we go to the Super Bowl, he's going to find a way to play. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't care what anybody says. If he's gone through this surgery twice already, he knows exactly how to rehab, what to rehab, when to push. He's coming back. Just throwing it out there. And we've been right before. We predicted Sean McDermott was going to get fired once he lost the game. We predicted that you needed to score at least 30 to beat the Bills. I'm just saying, we've been right before. Top 3 moments in the game. First off, forced fumble on James Cook in the first half. It was looking really grim. It was looking really grim. And that turnover just completely shifted the momentum of the game. So I'll start there. The pass to Mims, again, Sean Payton shared after the game. They ran this play in practice. Mims beat PS2 on the play, and he basically told Mims, if you can beat the best corner in the world, I don't care who's guarding you, this play is going to work. Sure enough, it worked. So just a great moment. And then obviously everybody will talk about the interception. And I don't blame, the officials. I don't blame the replay. I blame the rules they have in the NFL. Apparently in the NFL, right, you got to have the catch. You got to go to the ground. You got to survive the ground. I didn't make the rules. McMillan didn't make the rules. The officials didn't make the rules. If he drops to that ground and the ball pops loose and nobody catches it, it's an incomplete pass. So if you're saying that third option is that you have to survive the ground and do something, I didn't come up with this rule. The NFL did. Ask Megatron, he knows. Ask Des Bryant, he knows. It's the rule. If you don't agree with that rule and what happened in that game, then change the rule.
Yeah.
Don't say that the Bills, they lost because don't give me that. They had 5 turnovers and they called the rule as it is intended.
Well, and there was also, I don't know if you saw, but they released a third camera angle that they didn't show on the broadcast. It was very clear that McMillan had basically his hands in there, which basically made it seem as if it was like a jump ball, if you get what I mean. And the fact that he took it away on the ground, because in the 2 angles they showed on the broadcast, it looked like he just had the catch and it was all his. But on that other angle, it actually looked like it was a contested catch, like, Whereas if they would have like landed on the ground and both of them tussled over it, it would have been the offensive ball because the receiver wins ties. So it was definitely interesting to see that third perspective. I'll have to shoot it to you sometime because
Yeah.
you didn't see that in the other broadcasts because like on the broadcast I was like, oh man, he'd have been better off just hitting it out of his hands. Now they're gonna get it. Like I was sweating, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you're really curious on whether or not it's a catch, just look at Brandon Cooks. Just look at him.
Right.
You can tell he's like, "I didn't catch that ball."
Yeah.
If he thought that he caught that ball and it was a done deal, he would have got up and been like, "First down,"
Yeah.
some like
Right.
something to indicate, "Hey, this game is over. I just lights out." Which, by the way, was another one of our Nostradamus picks. We said, "Don't let the cooks cook," meaning Brandon Cooks and James Cook. And second half, we definitely did a lot better than we did on the first half, against James Cook, and then Brandon Cooks, we literally stole it from you for the game. So, just saying, we're we're on things over here.
Heck yeah. And so like as far as my top plays would go, it's similar but not quite the same. At coming in at number 3, I'd have Nick Benito's strip sack. Thought that was huge. And then coming in at number 2, I would have the interception by PJ Locke.
Mm.
The one where he came across the field and snatched that thing and then kept going. That one was awesome. And then
Yep.
obviously the Jaquan McMillan, which I mean, speaking of Jaquan McMillan, I mean, we got to resign the guy, right? I mean, he's just making clutch plays this year, making $1 million this year, going to be a free agent next year. Maybe we get that guy back in our room. I know we would hope that Barron could take that spot, but I think McMillan's earned the right,
Yep, and we should have some more money with more of Russ's dead cap coming off, so
right? Well, I mean, we've accounted most of that, but with
true.
with those heavy contracts we threw out, and one of those heavy contracts was Cortland Sutton. Who, man, dude, I wanna give the guy love, but it's like he was invisible, and then he started to show signs of that he was there, and then 2 drops, and I'm like, oh man, But anyways, I can't
I mean,
hammer on it too much.
the dude didn't have a catch till what, the 4th quarter?
Yeah,
Now, we could argue that's target game planning. We can also argue that you weren't getting open. And then when you started getting those targets, like you said, there's some drops mixed in there. Guess what? He's got a chance to redeem yourself.
yeah,
We said this at the beginning of the season. Hey, you're getting paid the big bucks now. You're making the money. Time for the production to follow. Guess what? AFC Championship. You have to play flawlessly. You have to do your thing. So
yeah.
he's got another chance to show why he's there.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe Stiddy is going to just lean heavily on him. So
True.
that'll definitely be interesting to see. Now, as far as the Patriots go, I need to look up their roster. But what's your initial take on what this matchup's going to consist of?
Yeah, so they got Christian Gonzalez on defense, who is, kind of their version of PS2, having that level of impact in season. Got some strong linebacker play. No surprise, Mike Vrabel's the head coach. Not really like a household scare you name on the D line, but they obviously have turned it on here late in the season, and in the playoff games that they've had, they've played really, really well. So that's kind of where I'm thinking on defense. We'll see if we can get some, you know, ground game going. Can we get some run game going against this team? Obviously, Nick Chubb and Marks couldn't do much for the Texans to get the ground game going, but I'd argue we have a much better offensive line. So we'll see if that's something we can get moving on that side. On the offensive side of the ball, they got Ramon J. Stevenson and Trayvon Henderson, another Ohio State guy. It sure would be nice. I don't think he can, but if he's in good enough, if he's in enough game shape, it sure would be nice if J.K. Allday, another Ohio State running back, outplayed Ramondre and or Trayvon. So if our running backs can outplay theirs, they'd be great. But they also have Stephon Diggs, they have Booty at wide receiver, and they also have I'm forgetting the third wideout's name, but um, Drake May is obviously
Uh,
the catalyst for the entire group. So
Kyle Williams is the third wideout, and then
there's another
maybe Demario Douglas,
yes, Douglas. He's solid as well.
and then to kind of round it out, their tight end group, they got Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper. Those are actually two solid options. Like Hunter Henry's been pretty, you know, pretty consistent, but I also think Austin Hooper as like a secondary option's not terrible. Kind of reminds me of the days we had like, Tony Scheffler, but maybe not to that extent because Scheffler was putting up some pretty dang good stats in those years. But I mean, this year, Hunter Henry had 768 yards, 7 touchdowns. So definitely not a slouch right there.
Yeah. So and uh, at minimum, we know they're both good blocking tight ends,
Mhm.
which is one of the biggest things of a tight end is be able to block, get in there, be that kind of extra hybrid lineman. And like I said, Drake May is the reason they're at where they're at. He has a knack for the deep ball. He's just able to drop it in the bucket, as they say. Which against our defense, we just got to hope that Riley Moss is able to hold water. Um, he was able to in this game. Some people think it should have been a PI, but both of them were fighting for the ball. So if we can somehow minimize that big play, which is Drake May's ability to throw the ball well down the field, do so by getting pressure on him. That way he doesn't have time to throw it and not get gashed like we were against the Bills by, 4, 5, 6 yards a pop on the ground, if not more, with their good running backs. That'd be great. But I do think that Bills offensive line was just massive. You can see how big those dudes were.
Yeah.
We'll kind of see how the Patriots stack up.
Yeah. And just a quick thought I had about the previous game. I don't know what sparked it, but if the Bills fans want to complain about that interception, we by all means could just be like, oh, well, the game should have ended the previous drive when your offensive lineman held our defensive lineman from behind. So that way
In the
Josh
end zone.
Josh Allen could avoid getting a safety, which a holding in the end zone is a safety, which by rules would have ended the dang game. So I don't want to hear their crap is what I'm getting at. I don't want to hear it. But like the most alarming thing, like just looking at, for example, the comparison between the two teams as I pull them up, you know, starting quarterback gone. J.K. Dobbins potentially maybe playing. You know what I mean? Like as you read that, it's like, oh well, that other team's just gonna destroy. So I just gotta hope that Sean Payton's got a decent plan. Stephon Diggs, his little bit of a career renaissance, I'll call it, from his bad year in that last year. I mean, he just had 1,000 yards in 17 games with 4 touchdowns. So it wasn't like crazy or anything, but he's at least proven to be their number one. Noticeable, I saw that the Patriots averaged 2.8 sacks a game, which I'm imagining is a far cry from what the Broncos average. I didn't look at the Broncos' actual average. I'm wondering now that Bo's gone, who's got kind of doesn't take a lot of sacks. I'm just wondering how Stidham's gonna do in not losing yardage. Like if I see him throwing it away when there's something close, like something close to negative is happening, or just in general taking good care of the ball and making sure not to take sacks and stuff like that, I'm gonna have a lot more hope about what the game that I'm gonna be watching this upcoming weekend. Uh, it's especially just because how it is once we watch Russell Wilson, where we're like, oh well, you can't take a 2nd and 14 and be very successful. You know what I mean? At least that's
Yeah.
the way I'm seeing it.
Well, I mean, look at the two divisional round games, at least on the AFC. We have the Bills with 5 turnovers. We have the Texans with 5 turnovers.
Right.
Both the Bills and the Texans did not get blown out despite the 5 turnovers. Um, so really, Stidham's ability to take care of the ball will be obviously of vital importance. Like Can't have a strip sack. Try not to throw a pick unless it's well down the field, right? You're throwing a jump ball or something to that effect. Be real cautious of being a game manager, especially with the defense that we have. I mean, the like our friend Lloyd says from Liar Liar, so you're saying there's a chance. We have a chance, okay? There's a possibility. This reminds me of like the Jake Plummer AFC Championship where you're like, we got a good team, but I don't know. So we'll see if they can pull it off.
Yeah, and chat in the past we've mentioned, like when I say if I was a betting man, I'm not much of a betting man, but I tell you what, when I saw 10-1 odds for my favorite team to win the Super Bowl, I may have taken that with a nice little $50 piece with the chance of winning 500. So, hey, I put my faith in my team. Now, is it mistrusted faith? More than likely. I'm a little upset. I mean, lost Bo. I'm a little scared, but hey, every once in a while you gotta show some love to your team. So I did so. Not that I'm telling you to do so. I'm just saying I put my money where my mouth is. I love this dang team. Now let's go out there. Let's beat the Patriots, and then let's beat the Rams because the Seahawks ain't making it. Let's do this.
Let's go. I mean, we're hyped here. I'm gonna go ahead. Keys to the game. We're gonna get 2 turnovers, 1 fumble, 1 pick from Drake May, the MVP candidate that they keep shouting MVP for. We're gonna get 2 touchdowns from Stidham. We're gonna get 2 touchdowns on the ground. We're talking a Mims sweep, and um, we're talking a I don't know, rushing touchdown. Somebody else. We're gonna get 2 weird rushing touchdowns that you never expected, and we're gonna kick a field goal on top of that. We're gonna win 31-27.
Ooh-wee. That's pretty good recommendation right there. I tell you what, I do not think it's going to be such a high scoring affair. I think it's going to be 24-23. So we're putting up TDs. We're total of 3 of them. I'm going to say we got 1 through the air, 1 on the ground, and 1 via defense. And
Defensive touchdown.
hey man, gotta take risks here. You said a reverse for a touchdown, so I gotta go spicy as well. Yeah. And really more than anything, I think we're gonna be able to get pressure on them. Now by all means, I haven't seen a lot of this Patriots team, so I'm not gonna pretend like I have. But I have a feeling that they haven't faced a defensive attack that can get there as quick as our team does. So I'm hoping that that's going to pay dividends. But I mean, it's not like they didn't just play the Texans, who were a pretty dang good defense. So that being said, I do think that we do got a chance still. I do think that the Patriots are unproven, even though they're having a hell of a season. Still potentially think that maybe they're not there yet. And that's where I'm kind of hanging my hat, if you get what I mean. So let's go Broncos. Let's get this dub. Now, if you, the chat, have gotten to this point and you're following along, you agree, you disagree, throw it in the chat. Let us know. Matter of fact, like and subscribe. We're all family here. Sean Payton's subscribed, I'm pretty sure. Last I checked. No, I was just kidding.
We gotta get to 50 subs here. We're not subbing here for money here. We're subbing for impact. We want to be able to one day fly to Serbia and do an in-person interview with Jokic. So the only way to do that is to get likes, comments, and subs. And if everybody can help us accomplish our goal of, a giant cigar, a glass of wine, and some horse racing
I was
in
about
Serbia,
to say, sitting by the racetrack.
in Serbia, like talk about the followed up by not an interview about basketball, but about his horses using Google Translate. That's what we're here for.
Exactly. Right on, guys. Let's do this. Go Broncos, go Nuggets, as usual. Denver, gridiron and hoops. Have a great night.